So I wasn't expecting the last video to blow up. So for all the positivity and the positive comments, thank you. And for the negativity, thank you. Today we're going to be doing a video on my custom geometry Rychtarski. So let's do this. Hey, what's going on? Atiba here, and today we're going to be doing a bike profile on my custom geometry road bike. For those who have selective memory, hearing, or just didn't actually watch the whole of the video before commenting, I had a bike fit with someone else. This video isn't sponsored, but if you're looking for a bike fitter that is open-minded and won't put you in a cookie cutter position, Foundation Bike Fit is the place to go. I went to them after having a terrible fit with bicycle, and the results were just night and day. So let's get to the video on this bike. So I'm going to do a video on this bike, and I'm going to tell you what is on the bike, how it's set up, and why I chose these parts. So the frame is based on a 56 Specialized Venge with a few tweaks to make it work for me. I'm going to do a full video on how I designed this bike, but yeah, this is running Columbus Zona steel tubing, which is the bottom of the hierarchy with Columbus tubing, but the main difference would be the weight. So it is quite a beefy boy, so it's around 3 kilograms for the whole frame, but it's oversized tubing, so it's going to be very, very stiff. Bottom bracket shell is T47, which basically means that I could run full internal routing without the cables and hoses going out of the frame and back into the chainstays. The fork is an Aero fork, which has space for mudguards, through axles, and obviously, because it's a disc brake frame, disc brakes. It's my first venture into disc brakes and I love it. As I mentioned, that it does have compatibility for full mudguards. As you can see, I'm running Portland Design Work mudguards in a 35mm width. So it allows me to run a clearance of my desired width. So at the moment I have 28mm GP4 Seasons at the back, and then at the front same tyre but in 25. Before I was running that sort of combination and I liked it and I stuck with it. I know some of you are going to just go yawn, but yeah, the front is for aero and the rear is more for rolling resistance. Wheels are Scribe 365, so they're box section aluminium wheels. They were a backup set of wheels originally for this bike when I was running the Stealth Carbon rims in a 50mm, but now they're on my tarmac. So I've got these wheels on. The rotors are a bit of a mix. At the front is a 160mm Galfa Wave. At the back is a 140mm Swiss Stop Catalyst Race. Group set is a mixture of Shimano Ultegra and 105 11-speed. So shifters and calipers are 105. Mechs are Ultegra. So the reason why I have Ultegra for the mechs is because I had them lying around and I wanted to fit this oversized pulley wheel system from Level. I don't think it really makes a big difference in terms of gains. It's not ceramic. It used to be, but because I changed the jockey wheel colours for vanity purposes, they are now not ceramic. Do they make a difference? Who knows, but it looks nice. Cranks are Rotor Aldo with the Inspider power meter in a length of 155mm. So they just seem to work pretty well in terms of my stability on the saddle. I used to run 165mm cranks way before every man, their dog and Pagacha was running them. Pedals are Shimano SPD SLs, so they're the 105 variants. Cassette is Shimano 105 11-speed with the ratios of 11:30. Chain rings are 52:36. Moving on from the group set, we will go to the contact points. So seat post is a BBB0 offset aluminium seat post. The reason why I have that is just to get my saddle in the perfect position. Saddle is Celitalia Flight Boost in S3 variant. So the width of the saddle is 135mm. So the reason for this saddle is I just need to get along with it in terms of stability, where it's placed, and then the fact that it's a T-shaped saddle. So what I mean by a T-shaped saddle is that it tapers in a lot quicker, which means that I'm not gravitating towards the front of the saddle because my legs are clipping against the saddle, and there's less chafing on my thighs. Handlebars are the Fourier's Nanko T. Instead of 34 centimeters, they are 32. I needed a little bit less reach, but not enough to change the stem. And at that time, my bars on my track bike were slightly narrower. Before anyone starts typing in the comments, this is nothing like my track bike. Example, my track bike is 5 centimeters longer, so unless I put on something like a 190mm stem, it's nothing like my track bike. Talking about the stem, for those who have seen the elephant in the room, I am running a 140mm Zip Sprint SL stem, and the main reason I'm using that instead of anything less than a 120 is because of the narrow bar. So when you go for a narrower bar, it shortens your reach, unless the reach is longer on the narrow bar. So to compensate for the reach loss, you need a longer stem. So I've got a longer stem on here. For those who think a stem longer than 120 is too long, you're wrong.
This has no place on your bike.
GP Four Seasons, I forgot to mention that they're clincher tube types, so they're running butyl tubes unfortunately. I will eventually put on some TPU tubes on this. I've got a couple spare, and I know they run a little bit better than butyl. I don't really want to do tubeless. These tyres are not tubeless compatible, and I'm not going to go tubeless anytime soon. So let's get to some of the measurements on the bike. So the saddle height is 795mm, the saddle setback is 76mm, and the bar to saddle drop is 180mm. And that was my video on my custom geometry road bike. If you liked the video, give me a like below. What do you think of my road bike? Let me know down in the comments. For now, I'm out. Peace.